Hello guys, how you guys doing? I just want to talk about this Ukraine-Russian war that has been ongoing for more than 3 years now. You see, that's what is called the principle of common sense. When the war started, Russia struck, you know, thinking that Ukraine would come to say, okay, let's have an agreement that it's not going to join NATO, it's not going to do this or do that. But along the line, Ukraine responded and said that it was ready for war. Russia did not call it war. Russia called it a special military operation. And at the end of the day, the West now began to support Ukraine to resist the attack. From there, it translated into what we are seeing today as a full-blown war. Now, I'm trying to ask this question because I've not been dwelling in this kind of war affairs. I'm not interested talking about Russia, Ukraine, but I'm talking as a humanist, as somebody that has common sense. Why should Ukraine agree to fight a super world power like Russia that has almost 6,000 nuclear warheads? You see, I know the reason why Ukraine said to fight Russia back. The reason is because the West said that they're gonna assist Ukraine resist Russian attack. That was the reason why Ukraine decided at the first instance to fight back just a country like Russia. So it amounts to futility how Ukraine thought it would win a war between a small country like Ukraine and Russian Federation. So if you look at it holistically, you will understand that there's no common sense that was applied when they were making their decisions to fight back. Russians said, do not join NATO, just be neutral. If Ukraine had been neutral and Russia still attacks Ukraine, the world would have come to the aid of Ukraine. Because Russia is a world power, Europe and America cannot do it alone because other countries are tacitly supporting Russia. The likes of Pakistan, North Korea, China, India, and what have you. Russia grew its GDP when the war was going on. In spite of all the sanctions, Russia did not collapse, meaning that some countries are tacitly or covertly supporting Russia war with Ukraine. So what I'm saying these days, sometimes it's not everybody that's supposed to contest an election to become president of a country. Zelenskyy used to be a comedian before he contested and won the election. Today we'll see what he has turned Ukraine into. Ukraine is not a desert. Ukraine has been destroyed. Even though the war stops today, it's going to take Ukraine 200 years to rebuild. And it's going to cost trillions to rebuild Ukraine because it is much easier to destroy than to build. So I did not know what came onto Zelensky's brain because he was thinking that somebody's going to help you. No, the only person that can help in this world is yourself. Any third-party help is not something you can rely upon. You don't expect Holland to destroy its economy because it's fighting war with Ukraine. You don't expect UK, Germany, France, and the rest of the European countries to support Ukraine with all they have in their arsenal. They can do that. So when somebody is helping you, the person will help you to his own ability. It will not help you like giving you everything you need. I know how much US has spent in that war. US has spent well over $350 billion. If not US, the war would have ended within 1 week, which even dropped to Zelenskyy at full of face. So what I'm saying is this: you do not start what you cannot finish. You do not start a war you know you cannot win. Now lives have been wasted, infrastructure, communities, cities have been destroyed. Everything has been annihilated. So what is the essence of love? And at the end of the day, America is saying that it's not on the table for Ukraine to join NATO. And that was what started the war. So why wasn't it nipped in the bud when this war was about to start? You told me to say that if you were president, this would have started. Yes, I agree. Why must you go to a war with a country that is much bigger than you in population, in artillery, in arsenals, in missiles, in modern warfare, in air defense system? Russia is much bigger in every ramification. If you look at it holistically, without missing words, Russia is bigger. It's almost 150 million population. Ukraine is around 40 million. The amount of people to join military. Recently, Russia is trying to return almost 60,000 bodies to them. So why must you go into a war you know you cannot win just because some people have promised you that they're going to support you? So when somebody is helping you, remember it's just help. Help is not when you're doing something for yourself. When you have a problem, you solve it yourself. Then when you cannot completely solve it, somebody else can help you. But you do not expect somebody else, a third party, to give you all you need to fight the war. Like Ukraine depends solely on the West for survival. Without NATO, Ukraine would have collapsed a long time ago. So I'm not asking, where is the brain? Where is the common sense? Where is the humanity in Zelenskyy to continue fighting what he knows he cannot win? It amounts to tomfoolery for somebody to be wasting his people's lives in a war you know he cannot win. I just say, let me talk about this because when I see the destruction in Ukraine, it makes me go crazy. Because I'm a humanist. I love humanity. See, Ukrainians have been displaced all over the world as refugees just because of the decision of few people released who don't have the focus on people at heart, who don't have the people at heart, who do not know what they are doing. You cannot depend on people to help you to win a war. It doesn't work that way. It's a pity. I pray and hope that this war will come to an end so that the people of Ukraine who are still remaining will have a fresh air to breathe and start their life all over again. I stop here and have a good day.